All right, hey everyone, Brendan Snyder here and Anthony Coviello.
What's up?
Yeah, back at Sound Exchange. Had a good vacation?
I did.
All right.
It was cool.
Yeah, good. You always need that to recharge the batteries. Well, we got an interesting topic here today. Question, does the album format matter anymore?
To us, it does.
Yeah, I was going to
But-
say, certainly to us. But the
We've seen
Music-
the decline of that
Yeah.
format.
big time,
Streaming was a reason for it.
right? But there's more
Um,
to it, I think, than just streaming.
Yes, the late
Because
90s,
albums
I
are
think,
on streaming. I mean, you can still get it, but I don't think that the album.
prior to streaming, the
Yeah.
late 90s, the singles.
Right.
The big, bubbly, poppy videos with all
Right.
the colors and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I noticed more people just wanting
Mm-hmm.
that song.
Yeah,
They would buy the CD because you had no choice.
true.
And then they would only listen to that song. I'd be in a car with somebody, and they would have
That song.
the Puff Daddy album,
Yeah, right.
right? And it was just the three
Oh.
singles,
Yeah, put it in and play
Yes.
just the singles,
and there were still cassette singles that were very popular at the end of the '90s.
right?
My sister had a lot of
Yeah,
cassette singles.
That's the interest. I had just read that actually. The cassette singles stayed more popular longer than the full cassette. Like they manufactured cassette singles
forever.
forever, and that was finally the last part of the cassette that went away. But the full album cassette was gone before
Yep.
that. And I noticed that today, where for streaming wise, people will just download the single. They don't care about the whole album.
Yep.
For me, I want to download the whole album, and yeah, I want to hear that one song, but I want everything else. If I like that one song, I'm hoping there's going to be more stuff on that album.
How many times have you gotten the album, and as great as a single may be, there's a song on that album that just
There's always something better.
blows away
Yeah.
anything else that's been released, and you think, why wasn't this the single?
Single.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
People lost that. That art was gone sometime in the mid to late 90s, 96 and
Yeah.
up. I'd say shit really changed.
well, and now where it seems like all the promotion goes into an album up front, which is when they're dropping the singles. So you get, the announcement, that's big news. Then it's this is our single. People go check that out. They will drop 2 or 3 singles before an album is even out now. You just get one single.
Yeah.
And then you bought the whole album. And then during the
You
course,
didn't wait 6 months to a year for an album.
Well, yeah.
That's a bit, yeah. Like, okay, here's the single. The album's out in 2 months, a month,
Right.
3 months. Now, they drop a single
Yeah.
in January. They're like, wait till September.
Yeah, I know it's nuts, but they build it up in advance, so you get all of your promotion, all your videos, everything, and then first week of sales, and it seems like you never hear
Done.
anything after that.
They need to just put out the single and
Yeah.
then put out the album as quick as possible
And promote
and then
More
yeah.
videos and things to promote the album to give it a life, but it seems like
Yeah,
it's in
now
reverse.
the album comes out and it's gone. Nobody cares anymore.
And I noticed that sort of in tandem with movies. Movies, it's all about the first week of it hits the box office,
Yeah.
and after that, they're on streaming in like 4 weeks.
But when they're on streaming in 4 weeks, you got to pay full price.
True,
you can rent
true.
it for $19.98.
That's true.
So they're still getting.
They're still getting their money. It's not like streaming. And I feel like albums should be that way. When a new album drops, it should be full price for like a month, and then it would hit the streaming services after that as part of a subscription, the same way movies do. The music
bad
industry screwed up when they just immediately put the brand new album as part of a streaming subscription. And they didn't look at it the way that movies do. But that notion too that bands now use albums to promote a tour. It used to be the other way around, where bands would.
tour to promote the album. The
Yeah.
album is where the money came from.
That's right.
They made money on record sales, but they also
And they plugged it for a year.
albums were more affordable.
I mean, there's a whole other topic
Yeah.
in that where we would argue it, because we already know the issue with vinyl pricing.
Well, albums were more affordable.
Right.
Not
oh,
now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, were.
Were.
So if you played the album cost you $8.98.
Mm-hmm.
A concert ticket was $6 to $10.
God, I know.
Man,
Holy
crap.
The concert tickets were often less. With CDs back in the early 90s, at 1998, I was going and seeing concerts for $13, But it's the other way around. I mean, it's hundreds of dollars to go see a band today.
I'm thinking they're still figuring out how to make a living doing it,
Right.
but maybe I don't know, because it's just gonna go into me being angry at them
For not
and-
putting full-length albums out.
No, for being greedy pricks.
That's how I feel about concert
you know what?
shows. There's nothing different
Like,
in a
what makes-
concert today than there was 20 years ago.
What makes you as an artist? I mean, I understand what it takes. I
Yeah.
do. But
Yeah.
what makes you as an artist, consciously or consciously jack up your prices or consciously ignore the people that are controlling your prices? And then if I do
Yeah.
that, or any other retailer or
Right.
any other person in the world does that, you'll rail against them, but
Right.
you're allowed to do it.
And that's what I don't get. There's all these fans that complain about the price of a CD.
But they well,
pay-
not the seat, or they go to the concert.
But they go to the concert.
Yes.
And they'll spend the $250 to go
But they
see-
won't buy the fucking album.
Right.
Holy shit.
For $15, go buy the CD, or $30, go buy the LP, if you want. But you're going to spend $250 to go see a show and then not buy
Yeah.
the album? But then again, that's where the album somehow has lost its, I don't know what to call it, but the popularity of it or whatever. It's like there was a time where you had to have the album, and I think part of that too has to do with social media and bands being part of it. Back when there was only MTV in the 80s, that we didn't have the internet and stuff, you could see your band as a music video, or you heard them on the radio, or you saw them live. That was it.
Yeah.
And today it's like, well, I can go see, the band's YouTube page, and they've got all these live shows and music videos, and it's no longer just one music video. Now it's like you get the lyric video, and you get the regular music video, and then they alter it, and there's all this different stuff. And then are the bands on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and everything else in between, and each band member has its own social media. So the album, that's just one little piece of what a band is today.
The
Now
album is everything.
I think the album is everything. A band,
It's the only reason that you can play live.
right. It's the songs, it's
Yeah.
the music, and yet at the same time, it seems like the music is so little by comparison to what is the universe around a band. What did that person say on Twitter? Or what did that person,
Their personalities are no longer artists that make music.
Yeah, right.
Which is, it's the same way as when we see commercials now. Remember, you would never see a real actor in a
Right.
commercial. I hate to say real,
Right,
but
right, yeah, right. Promoting
now-
a product. That way they
now,
were selling
holy
out.
shit.
Oh yeah,
Not only are these actors making way too much money,
right.
but now they're making even way too much more money. I know that
Yeah.
is an incorrect sentence. I said it purposely like that. By selling whatever.
Right, whatever.
Yeah, the new
Telephone.
dog shit scooper
Right.
when you walk your
But it's
dog.
like
You got
telephone.
Brad Pitt in a commercial for it.
Well,
Wow.
but you've got musicians saying, use this phone company or this telephone or whatever. It has nothing to do with music.
Which I'm okay.
Right.
Take it. Run with it.
Yeah.
Take the money.
I-
because if these people are stupid enough to pay that much money, man, you fucking earned
Right,
it. You
right.
deserve it.
And I don't have a problem with all the different things they're doing, and we brought this up earlier already, where it was sort of they're trying to figure out how to still make money. If the album itself doesn't sell and they're not bringing in millions of dollars through the album anymore, they got to bring it in somewhere else. Well, that rolled over into raising concert prices, and then anything that's on
Exactly.
YouTube that they can monetize to make money that way.
Make money how you can make money, but
I-
you're treating the people that
But-
support you and pay you
Right.
unfairly.
So, they put out these albums where they were super popular back in 70s, 80s, whenever it was, and that's what they're out there touring on, but then they're not continuing to be, quote, a musician creating something. That's what bothers me, where the album format seems to not matter anymore, yet everything else they do. Bands can go out and not or not put an album out for a long period. So Guns N' Roses, right, between Use Your Illusion and Chinese Democracy was 17 years. Well, Chinese Democracy came out in 2008. So if they don't drop an album next year, then it'll have been 17 years between albums from Chinese Democracy to whatever new one they're doing.
Maybe that's just where they're at.
I know, but at the same time,
They toured for 5 years straight, selling out arenas.
yeah,
Hey, the power to them. I saw them twice.
I did too. And I
I'm
spent
gonna go again.
I spent $350 on the first time to see him, and I think I spent $400 or $500 the second time to be really close, and it's like. But when I saw him in 1991, the ticket was $20.
Yep.
It was like $19.99.
Yeah, I had to ask my parents for the money because I was 12.
I know, right?
I was 12 when that tour came around.
Right.
And
can you imagine asking your parents today though to shell out $350 to go see a band?
And fucking they do. I
know.
have friends who have kids, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, I just got the
Yeah,
Selena Gomez
Right.
tickets."
Mhm.
I'm like, well, "What could, or Olivia Rodrigo?
Yeah.
$400 a piece.
Yeah. No, that sounds
Husband,
cheap.
wife, 2 kids.
Yeah. That's like airfare. You can fly places for that cost.
And how do you tell your kid no when your kid's getting into music?
Well, that's the thing, and today kids don't know any different, right? We grew up and it was ridiculous. I mean, I remember, you know, my parents or friends of my parents, you know, who were rockers, who went and saw Jimi Hendrix or whoever, but it was like $3 tickets.
Yeah.
You know, in the '60s and the '70s.
I want the artists themselves to stand up for this and
Yeah.
put their foot down. And I know they're afraid
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to hurt them. But let's
Wait.
talk realistically.
Are you talking money wise?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how many of you need it?
How about? But I guess my thing, right? And I agree with that. I mean, they don't need. Guns N' Roses makes $3 million per visit. That's why they're playing stadiums. That's their cost. Then the promoter sells the tickets at the prices they want to sell.
And that's not okay, man.
And the band has nothing to do with that. So when
That's-
you're paying $1,500 for those first 10 rows or whatever it is, that's the promoter.
And if the band is stepping aside and saying, "Fuck it, I got paid. I don't. You know what? I don't want to see you."
But I think
Because
Pearl
that's
Jam
shitty.
does stand up for that, right? Because their ticket prices don't range above $100 or so, or is it $150?
Pearl Jam comes out to if you're in the fan club,
Okay.
you get first crack.
Right.
You get put in the lottery,
And what is the ticket?
and it comes down to a little under $2 per ticket with all the fees and service charges.
200.
$200
Okay,
bucks
that's
is
more than it
now,
used to be, but I
this is
remember when
shitty.
they were-
Ticketmaster. Well,
Yeah.
not, so $200 is a lot of money for a concert ticket.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Right? I see 100 shows a year.
Pearl Jam is charging $200.
$200 a
oh
ticket.
Oh my God! 'Cause
But
I
then,
remember-
but then you look at it, and here's why you
Yeah.
say, well, 200's okay. Let me pay $45 to join the fan club
okay,
because you're going to pay $1,500 for one seat
well,
right now
Yeah.
to see them in the Garden.
yeah, and
That's where
But they used to stand up for that and not allow their ticket prices to be more than. Now I'm probably going back to the early 2000s where ticket prices
I
were
feel
never
this is-
more than $100.
I feel this is a whole new battle.
Yeah.
This is an entirely new thing. This is no longer. It's still the monopoly bullshit. People
Yeah.
taking advantage. That idea is still the same.
Right.
It's $100 as opposed to they're fighting for $100
Exactly.
ticket as opposed to fighting for a $1,500 ticket.
And-
Something should be done. I'm
And
glad the
peop-
government's getting involved.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They've tried many times before. I don't know if anything will take this time. And then, of course, with Ticketmaster, we've had, Pearl Jam, took up that battle, and unfortunately, nothing happened with that.
Yeah.
But what do you think it would take to get back to the album being important? To
Greed needs to go away.
Has to be
Everybody, the
greed.
artists need to step up and
we-
say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Because every reason that you can give me behind it until you
Mhm.
show it to me in black and white,
Yeah.
you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Because why can the independent artist still release a record for $10 and you're saying, well, my cost, I have to sell it
Right.
for 20? No,
Right.
no, you don't. Especially with a mass amount that you're printing, it's so much
And
less.
that's where I think why concert ticket prices did what they did, because it was the million-selling album bands that were no longer selling the albums who said, I still want to make the same amount of money.
Greed.
Who then who jacked up their ticket prices
Stop
to make
being
that.
greedy.
But the younger artists today, well, they don't have the
Younger artists are just coming in saying, "Oh, I'm going to get paid
right,
this much money for this,"
Mhm.
and no, that's not how it works, man.
right.
And it's going to crash.
But they also
I don't
can't-
want it to crash, but I hope it does, just to take the greed aspect
God,
out.
I hope
Everybody
it
stop
does
being
too.
greedy. We're going to be okay.
Right. Well, after all of these 70s era artists that are 50, been around 50 plus years or whatever it is, finally retire or break up or pass away, whatever it is, and there's no more huge bands like that used to be the big concert draws that
Well,
have
no,
the catalogs.
But it's today's pop. Dua Lipa, The Weeknd, Olivia Rodrigo, whatever.
Do you think they'll be around
Chappell
in 50
Roan.
years?
Yes.
I think Taylor
Swift
will be.
But why isn't Taylor Swift standing up and saying, "Why is my CD $19?
Yeah.
Why is my
Why did
LP
she release
$49.98?
4 or 5
And then I have
versions?
4 versions of it. So now,
Because she
like,
knows
let's
she-
talk about that. People buy Taylor Swift albums.
Right.
The kids love them. They'll
Right.
listen and digest every
Yeah, they're
song.
going to buy it and they're going
But
to
what kind of an asshole are you that you Release 4. I
Right.
don't care. That's it.
Okay.
I love it. I think the
Okay.
marketing is behind it is great.
Well-
I just think the idea is great. It's cool. It's very interactive.
we know why they're
but not
doing
for $50. Because
Yeah.
now the kid's got to go to his parent and say, "Hey, mom, I want all 4 versions of the new Taylor
Right.
Swift at $49.98 a piece."
Right.
That's $200. Then you got to have them shipped.
Right.
Well, they take advantage of you in shipping. We all
Oh
know that
my
you're paying at
God.
least $20 or more.
That's what I need to like.
There's Pearl
crash.
Jam too.
Yeah.
Why? Fuck you, Pearl Jam, for
Everyone.
charging $18 to
Yeah.
ship a CD, man. Stop.
I
That's shit greed.
It is. I went on a band's website that was putting out a brand new album. They wanted $30 for it. I was like, fine, I'll pay a band straight $30. Went to go check out, and the shipping was $30. I was not paying $60.
When I pre-ordered the new Pearl Jam record. I got the CD,
Yeah.
Blu-ray from the site, plus the record and the 7-inch.
Okay.
They shipped them all separately and charged me each item shipping.
What?
It cost me an extra $50.
Holy crap.
So this is where now
That's wrong. It should have all been bundled.
it was. Yeah, I'll wait for the 7-inch.
Yeah.
But no, they broke it up, shipped them all separately, and charged me per item.
I bet you there was a little box somewhere in there that was like ship
No.
as they become available.
Nope.
No?
There was not.
No.
I didn't even know. I figured they would all ship together.
Wow.
But either way, it's mean, it's rude, and you're better than
Because it
that.
doesn't cost that much to ship this stuff.
No, medium mail, which is how they ship it,
Yeah. It's like $7.
is no, it's $5.
Okay. Even less.
$5.25 for an
Yeah.
LP. So if you're charging me $16 to ship the LP,
So
wow.
yeah.
Yo.
And I think that's also
Yo.
part of why people won't buy it, because there's, not everyone will do the hunt the way we will. I will go to eBay and Amazon and a band's website and figure out which one is, and we have record stores, fortunately. You
Well,
and I know not everyone has record stores to
As
go
the
to.
record store guy, I'm getting effed on these guys selling them.
Yeah,
They're not coming to me for all the Taylor Swift variants because they already bought them on her website
right.
for $250.
Right. But that's what I mean, where it's like it's so expensive. There are a lot of people that won't shell out for that, thereby not buying the albums because they're so expensive. Then the shipping is so expensive. And if they can't easily get a hold of these albums, then they're just going to stop buying albums. Albums become not a big deal because they're not readily available.
Yeah, so the greed in it is really
You're right. That is-
shifting.
that
Why does Pearl Jam have to charge, again, we'll do the price thing, but it's
Yeah.
$35 for a single album. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Right.
It doesn't cost that
I mean,
much to
from-
make. The art is done in-house,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Well, they just license a photo even. So
Yeah,
it's
that's like a whole
you
other
don't even have to
thing.
do any art.
And is this people, and
Yeah.
I love Pearl Jam to death. And I
Oh,
think
yeah,
the new
we-
album's fantastic, and I
absolutely.
hate to single them out, but
Well,
it's
we
the
can
first
single
thing
them
on
out.
my head.
Metallica,
Yeah,
they're the other
Metallica owns their
band
own plant.
Right.
So
and yet they're shipping, and I haven't bought anything from them for a long time, probably going back about 10 years. But at that time, shipping was $20 on even like a keychain. Didn't matter. It was just a flat $20.
yeah.
That's probably a lot more today.
So I don't think this is why the album
Yeah.
format's dead. This was just a whole other rant that
No,
we just
but-
trickled into.
Exactly, but I do. But I think it comes back to what you said. It's greed.
Yeah.
The album format is dead because of greed. Whether they're
And now-
jacking up ticket prices, jacking up an album price, or just trying to figure out how to still make more money instead of staying on an album and promoting the album the way
and
that
keep
they-
it fair price so the kid can walk in and buy it and tell his friend
That's
it's
what I
only
mean.
$13.
Right. A fair price album would get more people going out and buying it.
Yeah, well, nobody's buying albums anymore. It's because you
Or-
so
Or don't release it to streaming. Make the
somebody out
album
there
only available
prove me
physically.
wrong in the
Yeah.
industry.
Right.
So the album starts people see sales going up,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
The cost didn't go up.
Right.
Let's raise the price so we make more money.
Yeah. Oh, this is popular.
Oh, it's going up, and that's
Yeah.
so it's money grab
Yeah.
at this point.
Let's make money
You're-
while it's popular.
and now when the album dies again,
What's like
well, nobody's buying records and CDs anymore because
Yeah.
you fucked us again.
Well, right. And box sets where we've seen them come out and they're $350, and we're like, fuck, I don't want to spend that kind of money, but it may sell out, it may not be available. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And then like the Guns N' Roses ones, 6 months or a year goes by and those things plummet to like $150 because nobody bought them or they can't
Yeah.
get rid of them. And it's like, see, it didn't need to be that much.
Exactly.
It never needed to be the 350. If you put it out for 150 or even 200, you'd have sold more copies of that thing.
And they're not seeing it like that.
Yeah.
You will make more money by selling more.
Right. Yeah.
And if it's a fair price, it will continuously sell.
Right.
if you just could keep putting something out for too much money, people are gonna revolt. You're gonna have
That's why classic albums.
taxation without representation.
That's why classic albums.
Happy
sell.
July 4th.
Yeah, right.
Wow, I can't believe I just.
I know
think
that was a good
Okay.
good tie-in
okay.
there. But I think that's why classic albums continue to sell, because those are the ones that are the $6.99 ones or whatever they are on Amazon and stuff. They're
You can get fair priced
you
albums.
get fair priced albums because the label looks at it and says, well, it's an older album, we've made our money, we can keep it down at this dollar amount, and they just continue to sell.
Now they're starting to look at those,
I
and
know.
those are starting to cost
I saw that.
$10.
That's right.
You see the price sheets, and you're like, "Wait, whoa,
Whoa.
whoa!"
No, this used
I used to the whole Kiss catalog was $6.99 at one point
Right.
retail.
Yeah.
Now they cost 10
Right.
change.
Well, you sold one out of your rack, and to buy it, bring it back into the store, it cost more than what your
I had
previous
sold it for.
sold it
yeah,
for.
and this is all in the process of 3 years almost now.
Right. It's not
So-
that long. I know.
Yeah. So the prices are staying the same. No,
Yeah.
they're not, because I watched them raise by.
Right.
I mean, it's a minuscule amount. It's pennies, dimes, nickels,
Right,
quarters every so often, but it's constantly going up.
Yeah.
The 12.28 is now 12.35.
Yeah.
That used to be 7.
Right. So I think in the end of the day, in the industry, and for the average person, the album format doesn't matter. It's everything else about a band that they are more interested in. You and I would certainly say the other, and a lot of bands, which are still creative individuals, Neil Young for one, who's just continues to churn out 2 or 3 albums a year.
You see, his prices have come down.
Yeah, and he was one of the first ones who was jacking them up to like $20. So
Yeah.
maybe he's learned his lesson, but greed.
I mean, Neil Young's store, isn't it called
Yeah.
The Greedy Hand? His online store?
It is so called something like that. That's true.
But I mean, I welcome anybody to come in here
Well,
and prove me wrong on any
yeah.
of this and debate us on any
Oh,
of this.
yeah.
Because show me
I-
how and why. Because I will also
Yeah.
show you an independent artist who can make
Yeah.
these records for a lot less than what
Right.
you're telling me the prices have gone up to.
Right.
So I would love it. Greed. Greed has ruined the album. Greed's going to
It's
ruin
ru-
it all again.
Yeah. Well, there. Yeah. I mean,
Greed is not good.
Greed is not good, and greed has killed entire civilizations from history. We can go back and look at Rome and look at other places like that. And why
It's killed the
why-
record industry
And
again.
it's killed the record industry actually multiple times, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. We know this. We've talked about it. So
And they're laughing all the way to the bank while doing it. And granted,
Yeah,
some of these
yeah.
guys are probably shitting their pants going, oh my God,
What are we
we
gonna
can't
do?"
have what happened 20 years ago happen again
Yeah.
without realizing what you're doing is actually
actually
making
killing
it happen.
That's
Or
right.
the new blood that's in there is just so greedy and money hungry. They're
They're-
making money hand over fist.
they're just
that
interested-
$50
Yeah.
album, they're the fucking revenue that they're
Yeah.
getting on it is awesome.
Right.
The guy's selling direct from
And-
the website.
Yeah.
They're selling it for the same price that I'm selling it for.
Right.
If you're selling it direct, shouldn't it be fucking cheaper?
should
You
be
cut out
cheaper.
2 middlemen. You
Right.
cut out the fucking distributor and me.
That used to be the thing. Go to the band, you paid a little less, and you supported them.
Yeah.
And that's why you did it. Now
Nope.
today,
Now it's
no.
the same thing plus $16 to
And
ship it.
Yeah, I don't buy from bands anymore because it costs so much more money, and they don't ship to you. You get it like a month after it
Oh
comes
my
out.
God, yeah.
And it drives me nuts.
Yep.
And people, viewers and stuff take issue with this sometimes and think you're mad at me for it, but I buy a lot of stuff off of Amazon simply because I can get it same day. Part of it is I can't come down here. If I wasn't working in New York City and I could come down to your store in the morning and get the stuff on release day, that's exactly what I would
Yeah.
do. But it's like, as a collector, as a hardcore music fan, I gotta have that shit
I need it now.
waiting for
Yeah.
me on Friday night when I get home from work. It's
Yeah.
there. And the people who do it are Amazon, and I buy through them. And yeah, they have good prices on stuff. But it's like, I'm not going to go to a band's website. I'm not going to order from some other place or eBay or whatever, because I won't get it on release day, and I got to pay shipping.
Yeah.
But am I helping to kill it? I don't know. Maybe I am, because I'm buying it at a cheaper price through Amazon, and they have those prices there to get you in the door for other stuff. So it's like,
At this point now,
but I'm still
we've
buying
done,
the album.
Yeah,
I'm not just streaming.
We've talked about it. We've done videos about it
Yeah.
where we expect these people to sell it cheap. So
Yeah.
we know why they're selling it.
Right.
Amazon's bonus is you get it then,
Yeah,
right away.
Right away. No more than 2 days.
Yep.
And new releases are guaranteed release day on Friday, kind of thing.
And let's just use Anvil,
Yeah.
the new Anvil record.
Yeah. Which?
I-
Oh no, that's Friday.
Oh,
That's Friday.
No, it was last week, right? Did they back it up?
No, yeah, backed it up. It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. No,
The
'cause I
5th.
didn't get that shit either
Ah.
for tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's
we're,
out of
we're
stock.
filming on the 4th, by the
So
way.
it's out of stock, right?
Right.
I can't get it from my distributors.
Right, and you're a music store.
But Amazon's got it. You
Yes.
can get it from Amazon.
Yeah.
Fuck
same
you.
day delivery.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's where it sucks.
And that's another.
And there's greed.
And
That's Amazon greed. That's
right.
the
They sell so much in quantity that the record labels are giving them preferential treatment, or the distributors are giving them preferential treatment.
And I just want it here for the guy that comes here every Friday.
Yes. And so then those people start to say, I'm not going in anymore. I can't get the albums. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to be a diehard in-store purchasing person, and I would go to JNR Music World when I was in the city. Lunch hour, jump on a train, go down there, get the stuff. And then they started not having the albums. Now, granted, my style of music wasn't popular as much, and they were bringing in the other stuff, and I kind of get that. But I stopped going there. And what happened? They went out of business. Not just because of me, but I mean,
But no, 'cause,
but,
yeah.
but I think that was it. They stopped carrying and bringing the albums, and they shrunk their sections, like all of that. They tried to do other sort of things.
They were also a conglomerate. They were also a
yeah,
chain. So
yeah.
chains.
And they were a bigger store. They sold other things,
There's a reason that-
appliances and
yeah,
whatever. It's a
that-
whole other thing. But I just mean, all these stores, the Barnes and Nobles that sold music that have downsized and now only sell vinyl. It's just, no one promotes the album. Nobody pushes the album. Everyone acts like it's just a throwaway thing.
Yeah.
And I think if there was more emphasis put on the album, where, when you pointed out a good thing, it should go back to the way it was. One single, drop the album, and then drop singles during the course and promote them with the videos. Do it the way that it used to be
And then
done.
how did you sell the single? A CD,
Yeah.
the great era of CD single and or
Yeah.
cassette single.
B-sides.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
it.
Bring back the unreleased
I paid
B-sides.
$15 for a one song
Yes.
single.
To
I
get-
mean, well, a 3-song single, right?
Yeah.
You buy the single so you can get that.
2 unreleased
Oh my
songs.
God.
Yes. I would
So
continue.
the single's platinum,
Right.
the record's platinum,
Right.
and everything's fair price except for those stupid UK import CD
Yeah,
singles from
I
the
know.
90s.
Yes.
But we still bought
We
every
still
one
bought
of them.
them. But-
That's marketing.
But if artists went back to doing it, and they kind of do it in the sense where it's like you get the album, and then there's the deluxe edition, which has a bonus CD of 3 more songs or something. Those are essentially the B-sides. And again, but they're making you buy it all up front. And I love your idea of going back to the CD single. Even if
Chase
you did
it.
it through streaming. Why is a single only one song today? Give me...
Well, we have to. Well, okay, so here, so streaming rights.
Yeah.
Right. This is where it's bullshit. If I wanted to do a single, a
Okay.
classic single with an A and a B side,
Okay.
you can't.
Why not?
A single is one song. Anything more than one song is considered an album, and it raises your distribution cost. So my digital distribution would, instead of costing me, let's say, up front is $10 an album.
Okay.
It's three. I don't even know the prices.
Okay.
But let's say it's $3 to do a single.
Right. Okay.
And now
you're
you
at
do
10.
anything more than one song.
It's not worth it. You're losing.
Yeah.
So deep-
because streaming rates.
Yeah.
Now, I make shit. I make
Yeah.
maybe $20 a year off of streaming. So if I can save that $7
Right.
from album, but they should
Right.
allow 2
Okay.
songs, A
Right.
and B side.
Yeah, yeah. And having your album out there on streaming is what helps you have people come to the shows
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. It's just fucked up that the album doesn't make the money. That's what music is all about. Artists, bands make music.
Well, now I guess we've got AI to do everything
Right,
for us.
right.
You know what? Let AI generate its own money to go to shows. So you have a bunch of fucking computer screens
It's
out
up
there, which
there.
is kind of like what
Hey,
you watch from a
have-
concert with all their assholes with their phones in the air now.
And all the video screens, the huge video screens, you spend more time staring at those than you do looking at the stage.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic. I think we're going to wrap it up here because we've been going off on concerts and AI and everything
We're
else.
still going to
but-
buy it. We're still going to go to the
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah, no, we rant and rave on all this stuff, and yet what do?
We're still going to do
We
it.
go buy it,
But
we still spend the money.
we want to see people constantly be able to get it.
I-
We want to see it
I want to
survive.
I want to see the album be the big thing again. I want the album to be considered a piece of art and people to take it seriously and celebrate it for what it is, and not just to think that it's a promotional item that's thrown away. It's like bands who go out on the road, they play 2-3 songs during the cycle of the album, but then after that they never play a song from that album again, and then they're just on to the next one.
And then all you hear is that fucking Aerosmith song from the Armageddon soundtrack
over and over and over
again.
Yeah, exactly. So
They've got a lot
on
of
that
reference.
note, we're going to sign off. Happy 4th of July, even if you're seeing this after the 4th of July. And check out some other videos that we got. Anthony and I do these sound exchange sessions all the time. There's tons of them all over the channel. And don't forget to stop by and check out Anthony on Instagram and what the store Sound Exchange is doing. Keep up with that. You can always find out their new releases and new buys and new things that have just come in the store and be one of the first ones to get it. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good one.
Thank
And
you.
we'll be talking to you soon.